Following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
All right, welcome into Main Street Media and Mornings on Main Street with our great show on this Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. As you can tell, this morning I am not in the studio. I have good reason for it. My amazing bosses at Main Street Media have allowed me to work from home because this morning, and I'm going to put the dad hat on now, my son plays football at DCA. They're leaving school a little after 8 o'clock this morning, so I want to see them off. And congratulations, good luck to all the teams that are playing, and there's the DCA helmet today as they hit the road. So we're doing the show from home this morning, but the intern is back at the home base. Now I know where he is. Look, where are you, buddy? I know where you are today.
That's what I'm saying, man. I finally get where I'm supposed to see you, and then you're not here.
We're gonna spend the whole show trying to answer that question behind your right shoulder.
Where's the JoJo?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm at home today, man. So it's going to be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it. Look, you spent a lot of time in Chattanooga. It's supposed to be like 73 and sunny down there today.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Bunch of stuff to do outside there, too. It's so nice.
I'm just going down with the football game and then coming back up.
You're not going to do a hike while you're there?
No. I'm going to have to hike to get from the parking lot to the stadium, and I don't want to do that, but we'll see what happens there. Is that a nice stadium?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I haven't been inside of it too many times. Usually my festivities end in the parking lot beforehand, but it is nice, yeah. I mean, they have a nice pavilion, and I'm a big pavilion guy, you know.
No, you don't go to football game for pavilions, man. You go for football game.
You're right. You stay for the pavilion.
Yeah, we need to. Well, because of that, with the high school state championships taking place in Chattanooga for the first time ever, I want to show you this absolute fire cover of the e-edition of Main Street Nashville today. And I mean, look at that. I mean, that is just our boss sent this to us last night, Justin. And I mean, this computer doesn't do justice of how amazing the front page looks of Main Street Nashville.
Couldn't agree more. It looks so cool. I haven't seen a front page like that before. It's really cool. I like
10 teams. There's a picture of a player from every single team. You can go read the articles. You can go to mainstreetpreps.com. We'll show you the sports page here in the e-edition of Main Street Nashville in just a moment. But all these pictures, 10 teams, East Nashville, Nashville Christian, some teams from the Middle Tennessee area, Oakland, Tullahoma, CPA. I don't leave anybody out. Let me go up to the top here. NBA, Lipscomb Academy as well taking place. So, and page. So look at this. I mean, this is a fire front page. It's one of the best front pages I've ever seen. And I'm a huge sports guy, so I'm a little biased there. So that's really cool. We'll get into talking about this in just a little bit with more of the teams that are heading down there. But a few headlines that are happening in the paper today. I did not know this. We have a Department of Transportation in Nashville called NDOT. I have no idea. It shows you how much I pay attention to things. But they have a traffic calming program. And I'd never heard of this. I'm fascinated by this. And the calming project is talk about you get projects sent in based application process based on safety, crash history, average speed, neighborhood destinations, and the presence or absence of active transportation, such as sidewalks and infrastructure. Let me tell you what, out in the Dawson Hermitage area, they need people don't speed limit. I mean, it's like every neighborhood, you see the speed limit, it'd be 25, and you think you should go 20 miles per hour over that. So a traffic calming project, which is really cool to me because I like learning new things. Okay, here's something else that's in the paper today too, which I think is really cool. Metro Planning unveils vision sketches of the East Bank. All right, so right in the middle of your screen, there's Nissan Stadium, and downtown Nashville's over here. And this is what they want to do. If you drive by there now, which is there's 65 right there to the left, and there's Nissan Stadium, kind of give you a figure of what's happening there. And Oracle's coming in on this side over here. And Top Golf is down that way and everything. And you see the project, what they want to put in, what they want to do. I'm not sure this will ever happen. I mean, it'll be a long time. We got high rises here, another high rise over there. I would love to see this, but this is like a dream I would put together for what I would like that side to be, because there's really a lot of place for growth over there. And I just think it's going to be a long time to do it. But it's good to dream and good to hope. But that's also you can see today in the edition. Vivian Jones with a nice article there. Metro Planning unveils vision sketches of the East Bank. All right, intern, I know you like this story here, and I know it happened last week, but I got to bring it up. Improved Highway 109 opens for Wilson and Sumner County drivers. Intern, how many times you been on 109? The intern's left me.
Sorry about that. I've been on 109 a bunch of times.
You tried that. So have you been on it since it's open?
No, I guess not. Every time I've been there, it's always had construction. So are they done doing that now?
I guess so.
Okay.
24,000 vehicles a day. They expected to double in about 16 years. Project took a year longer than expected because of utility delays. But the officials said the important thing is that construction is over and hopefully the roadway is safer and more driver friendly. You can read all about that today in the e-edition of Main Street Nashville. Now, we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but Brenda Lee to head Hendersonville Christmas Parade. Do you know who Brenda Lee is, intern?
I do not.
Well, you're going to learn all about her this afternoon because I'm going to send you a bunch of trivia about her. You're going to learn out. She's the only female artist being inducted into both the Rock and Roll and Country Music Hall of Fame. And she's a Nashville native, and she's doing the Hendersonville Christmas Parade tomorrow. And we'll talk with Andy Gilly tomorrow from Hendersonville about the parade and all that's going on. So another fun weekend happening around Middle Tennessee, especially with Miss Brenda Lee doing that on Saturday. Also, real quick before we get out of this, I want to show you there's another thing that's happening, which I think is really cool. Bellevue Goodwill to host games and gadget sale next week. Look at some of these prices. Tablets, iPods, and power tools start at $10. Laptops and PCs at $25. Game consoles at $40. That's next week at the Bellevue Goodwill. Their games and gadgets electronic sale. Intern, if you pass the Brenda Lee trivia questions, I might take you to the sale.
Okay. All right. I'll do my research. Let's do it.
You think you can do it?
Oh, I know I can. I'll put my mind to it and we'll do it.
I think you get it done there. All right. Before we get to our guests, and I'll tell you about our guests in just a moment, I want to show you, and I thought this is really cool. I'm big in the numbers. Intern, we like to share new information here today. So you might not know this, but for the next 9 days, all right, let me pull it up here. The next 9 days. You know what a palindrome is, intern?
I do not.
It's a word spelled the same backwards and forwards. It also applies to numbers. So today is December 12th, right? 2021.
Mm-hmm.
December 2nd, 2021. Well, you can spin it backwards. You can say from 1202 for the day's date, and you go backwards and forwards of that, and you can have the palindromes happen for the next 5 or 6 days doing that.
I'm the opposite of a numbers guy.
Well, that's okay. It happened back in January, and it's going to happen in December. 22 palindrome dates in 2021 that are coming your way. You've learned things already in the first 5 minutes of the show you didn't know, which is my goal every morning.
That's true. That is a true statement.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. All right, so let's talk about what's on the show today. Coming up in just a moment, Tammy Henry from Gaylord Opryland is going to join us. We're just going to still clear up all the stuff that's happened on the weekend. There's a lot of misinformation been reported about what you can and can't do at Opryland, so we thought we'd go right to the source. We'll clear everything up for you. If you want to go to Opryland and check out their beautiful lights, all that for you. 7:30, great story. A guy that I know well is making his Opry debut Friday night, the Grand Ole Opry debut. And just to hear his excitement and the anticipation is really, really cool. At 7:20, we have our pet of the week for you. Got a beautiful pet of the week, but we want to help her find a forever home. All right, we're off and rolling this morning from the home office. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Well, I came up with the name. We threw around some ideas, but I just, some people at the beginning said that they thought cheap had a sort of negative connotation, but I didn't. I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want it to be something that was like, a Spartan lifestyle that I was promoting. I wanted it to be that you could save money, but you could still have a quality life and have a good time.
For the same reason a beagle chases rabbits, it's in my blood. I started reading newspapers, Lydia, before I could read. When I was a little kid in Crossville growing up, my mom taught me to read at about 5 years old, so I would read the Crossville Chronicle, our hometown paper, and it was so exciting I'd wait on Thursday morning for the Chronicle to arrive. I've been fascinated by newspapers all my life. Since I was 5 years old, that's all I wanted to do.
Live from the home office. If you hear heavy snoring during the show, my dog, who's to my left, feels like that since I'm home, she should be right under my feet. And so I'm trying to shush her to keep it down. All right, so let's bring in Tammy Henry from Gaylord Opryland Resort. We're talking about the Christmas lights, what's going on. And Tammy, so much misinformation is being reported out there, but we want to have you come on to clear up everything. So no more questions. Good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so let's start off. What is the exact policy?
So our policy that we announced back at the beginning of October on our website and in our press releases is that guests of the hotel staying overnight, as well as event ticket holders, are of course going to be here on property anytime. But guests who do not have tickets or who do not have a room reservation are welcome to come and visit the hotel. We know that's a great family tradition that so many of our Nashville friends, as well as friends from out of state, have. All you need to do is be here before 2:00 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The lights come on at 4:50 every evening, so it gives you plenty of time to walk around the hotel, enjoy all of the decorations inside, and then go outside when the lights come on. This was really designed to help mitigate a lot of the traffic out on Briley Parkway and on McGavock Pike, as well as for capacity management here inside the resort during the holidays, which, Friday and Saturday and Sunday are our busiest times in the evening when we see that congestion.
So when you first heard all the reports, I got to think when all the misinformation being reported, it drove you crazy.
It's a little bit frustrated, and we understand everyone's disappointment, but the media, quite honestly, reported some headlines that said we're restricting access. And that's not the full story. We're restricting access after 2:00 only to those who don't have tickets or who don't have a room reservation. If you want to come, just come before 2:00. We're not going to make you leave once you get here. That was one of the big misunderstandings, is that, number one, we were not letting anyone come at all. And number two, that, you had to be here and leave by 2:00. And that's just not the case at all.
And, we talk about that. I mean, there's a lot of traffic out there that happens, and I understand completely what you want to do. And this is a destination for so many people, and there's still plenty of time and opportunities to go see the lights and everything happening over there. So I'm really glad that you came on and cleared this up, because when I heard the report on the news, I was like, oh my God, that doesn't sound like something Opryland would do.
Definitely not. We want everyone to come. We want everyone to enjoy those traditions, their family photos that they take every year for their Christmas cards, to enjoy the lights. We even had one, person say, this is the first year their child's old enough to really come and enjoy it, and they just couldn't wait to bring them out here. And they don't mind coming during the week, but we do understand that, some people aren't able to come on the evenings to see the lights during the week because of work commitments, which is why we designed and intentionally scheduled it so that, everyone could come. If you didn't have a room reservation and you didn't have a ticket to one of our events, to just come before 2:00. And, the timing sort of works out perfect, because you're able to navigate the hotel, get the lay of the land, and then go back and see it all again at night. Because there's really two different perspectives to see things here in the daylight, and then at night with all of the lights on.
How many years, I don't mean to put you on the spot, how many years now has this been with the Christmas, the lights and everything?
This is the 38th annual Country Christmas. And so it started in 1984 as a way to keep the hotel open. The hotel used to close for 2 weeks at the end of December.
I went there the light with my grandparents, went there with my mother. I've taken my kids there. So this is a generational event.
Definitely. We see, grandparents, great grandparents, parents, and children coming together. And, we would never want to do anything to prevent that.
That's why I'm so glad you came on and to clear everything up with everything. Now, there are still some ticketed events that are going on, and that's been the case for years, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We have our signature event this year is Mission Save Christmas, featuring the iconic Christmas movie Elf, which is just a blast. If you're a fan of that movie, you just feel like you've really walked into Buddy's world.
Yes,
and
you have.
There's challenges along the way to help save Christmas. You helped save Christmas a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Right.
So, thank you for that.
Yeah,
in addition to that, we have the Oak Ridge Boys Christmas dinner show. And in fact, for a sneak peek of that, we're actually going live on Facebook tonight at 7:25 with the Oak Ridge Boys live from their dinner show for a special greeting.
Oh, what's the Facebook? Gaylord Opryland?
Yes, Gaylord Opryland Resort.
That's fantastic. And look at all the events that are happening, everything. And I tell people that the Elf, you guys have done great with the ice exhibits in the past and last year, the Christmas movie themes and everything, but you really outdid yourself with the Elf theme. That is really, really well done. And it was tough to get people to move through there because everybody just stopped for so long and that's the point of it. It's have fun and a good time, enjoy with your family. So it's so well done, Tammy.
Well, thank you. We worked with our partners at Warner Brothers Themed Entertainment to pull that off, since we were still unable to do ice this year because of the recent international travel restrictions. And, it is another misunderstanding. We absolutely will have ice back as soon as we can. We do intend for that to be next year. And so we're excited to see, what's in store for the future with the ice attraction. But meanwhile, we want to provide the same level of quality, fun, family-friendly entertainment.
Perfect. Tammy, that's why you are good at your job. You get out ahead of the story and make sure everybody knows what's going on. And that's a credit to you. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for the opportunity, Joe, and go DCA Wildcats.
Yes, Tammy, before you go, look, yay, all right. All right, thank you, Tammy.
Bye.
All right, Tammy Henry from Gaylord Opryland Resort cleared up everything about going to the hotel. You still can go to the hotel. It's not a problem. You can still do that. So thank you, Tammy. All right, we'll take a break, come back to the other side. I fell in love yesterday or 2 days ago. I fell in love, and I want you to meet who I fell in love with. Let's put it that way. It's coming up next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Dairyberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit dairyberryac.com today and schedule a visit. Dairyberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. It's time for our pet of the week, and man, we got a beautiful one for you so far this week. It's Willow. She's at Agape Animal Rescue, and I could go on and on about her, but instead, here's her story. Enjoy.
Holidays, Hunter Browley here with Regal Realty Group, and we've got another pet of the week. We took last week off because it was Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, you guys, for even requesting and talking to us online about all of that. We are so excited about the traction we're getting with this piece, Pet of the Week, that we partnered up with Big Joe Dubin and Main Street Media for. So we've got a new one for you, Agape Animal Rescue, and it's Willow. Check it out, Joe.
Okay, Hunter, thank you. I want you to meet Kelsey. She's a trainer at Agape Animal Rescue. Today we're going to feature Willow. All right, Kelsey, tell me about Willow and why she's so beautiful.
So Willow is a wonderful, about 4-year-old boxer mix. She's only about 40 pounds, so she's the perfect medium-sized dog. She's been with Agape for over 2 years now, and we honestly just don't know why at this point. I mean, she is an incredible dog. She came into our program, like I said, a little over 2 years ago, had clearly gone through some stuff before and was really fearful, but over those 2 years, we've invested so much time, love, training into her, and she has just blossomed into a much more confident and happier dog. And so now we are looking for her forever home. Her home would probably look like someone who isn't super interested in a dog that, you know, wants to go out and socialize too much. Maybe somebody who's a little bit introverted. Willow would do wonderful in a home that would give her a comfy couch to lay on, a yard to run and play in, and maybe just go on the occasional walk or hike.
You spent the time with a lot of dogs. What makes her really special?
Willow has the absolute most wonderful personality. She is just so happy to meet you, and when she knows you, she loves you. She wiggles right up to the people that she loves, and she has these awesome cartwheels that she loves to do. She's just got the goofiest, most fun personality you will ever meet. And I think she's going to make somebody such an incredible dog.
Of like all the dogs, she does not belong in a shelter, does she?
Absolutely not. No. Right now, she is unfortunately having to be boarded because we simply haven't found a foster home for her in the past 9 months. So she is currently being boarded, and it's really starting to get stressful for her. She's made it very clear that she's just ready to sit on somebody's couch, and hopefully be somebody's forever dog. So if anyone's interested, even in just fostering her, we would love to get her into a home here pretty soon and out of boarding.
What's some things that she doesn't like? If you're going to adopt her and you want to know some things that she's not really a fan of, what are some of those things?
So Willow doesn't mind greeting the occasional dog, maybe out on a walk or something, but she's really kind of indifferent. Like I said, she's not going to want to go to the dog park or anything. And so she would rather be an only dog in the home. She likes to have all the attention to herself. She can also get overwhelmed by young children, so preferably an adult-only home would be really great for her.
Look how well behaved she is.
Yes, she is so smart.
Yes.
Anybody that would want to continue training with her, I mean, she just loves to learn. She's an incredible dog.
And we know what she kind of is?
Yeah, so we guess that maybe she's a boxer mix. We think that's probably what she looks like the most. But there's definitely probably some smaller breeds in there because, like I said, she is pretty small for a boxer. She's only about 40 pounds and she's kind of short too, so who knows?
So we'll say she's a little boxer, but mostly she's beautiful.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Kelsey.
Thanks.
All right, that's our pet of the week. Connor, we'll send it back to you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Joe. That was Willow, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to find that precious baby a home. Hit us up. You can find me right here on this email address or that phone number. I'll put you in touch with him, or go find Big Joe on the go. He's all over online, all the tweets, all the Instas, all that stuff. He's one of those. So check him out. You guys help us find Willow a home. It's our pet of the week. Thank you so much.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
All right, we got something to smile about for you this morning, brought to you by Delta Dental at deltadentaltn.com, now offering vision and dental plans. It's something to smile about. A good friend of mine is making his Opry debut Friday night. Curb recording artist Tim Duggar. And we spoke to Tim yesterday about what's happening on Friday, and man, the excitement, very, very cool. Here's our interview with Tim Duggar. All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Man, I'm over the moon excited about our next guest. He's got a big event happening on Friday. Let's bring in Curb Records recording artist Tim Duggar. Tim, good morning, buddy.
Good morning, man. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited. First of all, you're so well known in the NASCAR circuit. I mean, you sell out shows on the road and everything, but I think people know you better as My Neighbor. Is that true?
I think so. I think you're right.
Oh, man, it's so good to see you. All right, let's talk about what's happening Friday night. You make your debut on the Grand Ole Opry. Has this sunken in yet?
Man, I always look at it, a show's a show, but this is not like that. This is definitely I was just trying to, it's hard to put in the words, and then you got all the, you got so many people that said the same thing over and over, because it does mean so much to so many people. But yeah, it's really special. I dreamed of playing the Opry since I knew what the Grand Ole Opry was. So very excited to be there, and excited for my mom and dad to be there, because they believed in me since I was a little kid. And so yeah, it's very, very exciting. It's going to be cool to get to stand in that circle and sing country music.
And you're on the same show with Ricky Skaggs. I mean, I love Ricky Skaggs, and it's so cool, Tim, to pull up the Grand Ole Opry website, and there you are, man.
Yeah, it's Ricky Skaggs is what my dad was an old truck driver, so that's how I got into country music. He had all these old cassette tapes laying around, and Highway 40 Blues and Uncle Pen, and Country Boy, all those Ricky Skaggs songs was in those cassettes. So it's going to be cool to be there. And Shenandoah, love Shenandoah. So yeah, it's going to be a fun night. I'm really excited. I got a lot of friends coming into town, and it's going to be really, really a good time. And I'm trying to take it easy because NASCAR's in town this week too. So I'm trying to ride the brake as much as possible, and, not overdo it. So that's the biggest thing right now, is just not overdoing it with those guys.
And I think the world of you. I think you're so talented, and to see your bio on the Opry website, we've got up on the screen for you right now. Now, like, your love for NASCAR, you started playing the NASCAR circuit, and then boom. And I don't know, it's not overnight, but it seems to us, looking outward into this, that overnight you just became this big success with the NASCAR world. Man, how did this all start?
So I grew up about an hour from Talladega, Alabama. It's called Roanoke, and grew up a race fan. And I started out singing in church like so many do, and had a little gospel band, and did that until I was probably 13 or 14. And then I'd always loved country music and knew that was where I kind of wanted to head. And so I got a little band, started playing little bars. And I mean, at that point, you playing bars, birthdays, funerals, divorces, weddings, whatever you can play. And I always, to me, like, it's all, NASCAR language and Dale Earnhardt, Harley Davidson. There's just certain little key words that work their way into country songs, and me being, from Alabama, and what I loved. So after a race one day, went to Talladega race and was in a restaurant, and after the race, this guy came in decked out in RCR, Richard Childress Racing stuff. We got to chatting. A friend of mine's like, "Hey, my buddy sings. You should check him out." And gave him a CD. And 2 weeks later, I was having lunch with Richard Childress, a big hero of mine, and grew up a big fan of his. And he really liked my music and made some calls and got me booked at a couple tracks, and that kind of snowballed. And I was playing in Daytona for the Daytona 500. I was playing in the fan zone. And that's when I met Mike Curb, and ended up giving him a CD. And so Mike Curb kind of really, really helped with Ronald Reagan's campaign. And he was the Lieutenant Governor of California. And so it was the Ronald Reagan centennial year. That year I met him, and he's like, "Hey, will you come out and play the Ronald Reagan Library for this event?" I'm like, "Sure." I think it probably was my second time to California, maybe my first. Flew out there and played that. And I told you before we started, I was supposed to play 3 songs, and I'm like, okay, these are my 3 bullets. I'm going to try to sing these songs of mine and really nail this, and hopefully impress him. And about 5 minutes before the event starts, they asked me to sing the national anthem. And by the 3rd line, by "Can You See?" I was like, well, I got a free trip to California. I'm going to go back to playing the Irish Bread Pub Friday night. But it really worked out. And it's music business has changed so much over the last couple of years. And then felt like we had the wheels turning, and COVID happened. But it's been really nice the last year, all I did was write. Didn't really have to focus on playing shows and stuff. And that was the first time since I was a little kid that I hadn't played somewhere every week. And so we got some new music coming out next year, here in a couple months. So really excited. It almost kind of feels like it's a really awesome way to start next year is to play the Opry, and it's really really special, man. I've seen so many people talk about how much it means to them, and you can't really put into words. There's no words I can say. To me, if country music was a mountain, the Grand Ole Opry sitting on top of it. So
yeah,
it's going to be really cool.
Well, again, I know you well, and the fact that you kept at this, doing this, a lot of people pursue their dreams and never take the first step, and you've never stopped walking, man. I think that's fantastic. All right, so we're going to pivot for just a second. We're going to run the video that you did, Christmas in Dixie. And look, Alabama did a great job with this, Tim, but I think you did a fantastic job with it as well. We're going to play the video. We've never done this before. We're going to play your video. Awesome. And that I am honored to be a part. I play Santa Claus, so thank you for the invite that day. It was fun.
Yeah, man, you crushed it. It was, that was I've not made a lot of videos, just a handful, but that to me was the most laid back video I've ever done. Like, it was just really fun, and I grew up, 2 hours from Fort Payne, and really loved anything Alabama's done. So to be able to cover this song. And the video to me takes a whole different spin on it. And at Santa's Pub, it was great. And you crushed it. You did a great job.
That was fun. All right, here we go. Here is Christmas in Dixie by the amazingly talented Tim Duggar.
By now in New York City, there's snow on the ground. And out in California, the sunshine's falling down. And maybe down in Memphis, Graceland's all in light. In Atlanta, Georgia, there's peace on earth tonight. Christmas in Dixie, it's snowing in the pine. Merry Christmas from Dixie to everyone tonight. It's windy in Chicago. The kids are out of school. There's magic in Motown. The city's on the move. In Jackson, Mississippi, to Charlotte, Carolina, all across the nation, it's a peaceful Christmas time. Christmas in Dixie, it's snowing in the pine. Merry Christmas from Dixie to everyone tonight.
Look at that, Tim, huh?
Santa's Pub will never be the same.
When you watch that, do you watch your videos? Because I very rarely watch anything that I do.
Yeah, well, of course, you always critique yourself to death, but yeah, I think that's to me that one makes me laugh. There's, because everybody in there is somebody I knew. A lot of my band and friends. So yeah, it's fun to watch. There's a lot of to know what was being said to make some of those reactions. Is what's fun to watch.
Oh, that's great, man. So again, you make your opera debut Friday night. I think it's 8 o'clock, 8:10 or something. Have they told you time?
I think I go on around 8:30, but I think everybody should get there and enjoy the whole show, of course. But so I think it's a ballpark at 8:30, but which is cool. But part of me was like, man, I sure would like to get it over with so I can get these nerves out of the way. But it's gonna be cool to be able to kind of take it in and enjoy the whole deal.
Here's a silly question: do you get to bring your band with you?
They give you the option to, and I just thought with my first time, the opera band's so incredible. Like with my first time, I just would go with the opera band. Two of my guys have been lucky enough to play the opera before. And so hopefully, if I don't, say, can you see, like I did the national anthem, I invite it back one day and can bring my guys.
I think it's great, man. Over the moon proud of you. I'll be out there Friday night. I got tickets to see you,
awesome,
man. And
you.
I just think it's really cool. And our friend Chase McCabe, he might be out there as well. So, man, we're all supporting you for Friday night, Timmy.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's going to be fun. It really means a lot, for everybody that's going to come out and y'all to be there. It's going to be fun. Going to be a rowdy one afterwards. I tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, when you get your first #1 single, which is coming soon, your first show is going to be this one. All right.
Oh, let's do it. I'm down.
All right, brother. All right. Appreciate you. I'll see you Friday night, man, or maybe this afternoon.
All right. Sounds good. See you.
All right. Thank you. Tim Duggar here with us on Mornings on Main Street. Back with more when we come up next.
When they first came in, one of the things we put in is if you walk around Concourse, you'll see there's an area that's a Delta Dental Kid Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been there pretty much since the Preds opened for business. And so that's one of the things. But, if you look at, in our case, how do we match up with charities that have value across the state? And then the other thing is how do we match up with partners that are true community partners? And if you look at what the Preds give back to the community and the things they do for kids all over, how do you match up with a better partner in the Nashville area than the Preds? I mean, it's hard to beat them, really. And entertainment-wise, it's hard to beat them just showing up to the game. I mean, it's almost an assault on your senses. It's Vegas and everything else rolled into one with lights and cameras and everything going. So,
but you've got such a good partnership with them that when I think of the Preds, I almost think of Delta Dental because of everything you guys do with them.
Yeah, we would love to know that that's the way people think. If everybody walks through the door thinks, well, who is their partner? First partner I want to think of is Delta Dental.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Many thanks to Tim Duggar for joining us, and I love the fact that he's making his Opry debut, and I could look out and see his house right there, which I like to humble brag and drop names. All right, let's bring in Chase McCabe from ESPN 1025, The Game, all things NASCAR. Been touting this NASCAR thing for years, Chase. When nobody believed NASCAR was coming back, you kept telling people to believe and believe. The announcement on Monday or Tuesday about possible cup race coming to the historic Nashville Fairgrounds you had to be off the moon, over the moon excited.
Joe, you know my athletic ability. I did a backflip, so that's how excited I was. Listen, you remember the Barbara Mandrell song? I was country when country wasn't cool.
Yes.
I was NASCAR when NASCAR wasn't cool in Nashville. That's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, it's huge, and it's huge for many reasons because this has been in the works for a long time, and there have been a lot of people behind the scenes that have been pushing for this. You know, I have a platform with a microphone that you know, and being a Nashville native and knowing how important that racetrack is to our community, you know, I've tried to use my my voice to, you know, to help things along. But it's awesome, and the fact that you have the Nashville Super Speedway that reopened last year and was so successful, and the folks over there and the hard work that they have put in for that, you know, I think it's easy for people to go, oh, okay, well, this means if NASCAR is going to the fairgrounds, then the Super Speedway is gone. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that NASCAR loves Nashville. And I've talked to people within NASCAR that are like, yeah, we like both. They're very different audiences, different types of racing. The drivers like going to both. So I see a scenario where NASCAR comes to our market twice a year and goes to both facilities. And I think that's fantastic because they don't do that. I mean, they don't do that in other places. They go to Charlotte, the same track, twice a year, granted different configurations. They go to Daytona twice a year. They go to Bristol twice a year, but you're also seeing the diversity with the schedule. Bristol's having a dirt race, and then they do the traditional night race, you know, in August and September. I think there's no reason why they couldn't come here, go to the fairgrounds, go to the Super Speedway, and have great crowds at both. And I think that's what they're aiming to do. So it's huge news. And for those that, you know, live in the area that are still concerned about the noise, you know, listen to what Marcus Smith and Jerry Caldwell and the SMI folks are trying to do. I actually think it's going to be a much better situation than what's there now, because they're going to build the noise walls and also control the schedule more, where it's really going to reduce the noise and the on-track action that's currently taking place.
Well, we have the article that Larry Woody wrote the other day. A lot more intricate details there.
A legend, by the way.
Larry Woody's the best. If you go back and read all this stuff here. But what needs to be, to go back to the fairgrounds, what's the first thing, in your opinion, they need to do?
They basically need to rebuild everything around it. It's an old facility. Not much has been done to it. It hasn't had the Cup Series there since 1984. It's been in operation. We know about the Weekly Series and the then Busch Series and Cup Series, or a Truck Series, ran there for a little bit. But as you can see by the renderings here, they plan to do a lot, and it's going to be expensive. But, you know, the way this proposal is set up, SMI is going to take care of that part. There's not going to be a major cost for Metro and the general fund with Metro, which I think everybody, you know, loves. That's music to their ears, because,
right,
you know, taxpayers are paying for this right now. I mean, it's still a track in operation. So I think that being able to have SMI and come in here and do it, and they'll do it right. If you've ever been to the Bristol Motor Speedway, if you're watching what's going on with the Atlanta Motor Speedway, been to Charlotte, they don't, you know, they don't go half speed by any means. So, but they're going to need to redo the grandstands for sure. The infield is going to need a complete rehaul. And I know that traditional fans and race fans of the track aren't going to like this part, but I think they're probably going to repave it, which it's a very old and worn out surface, which drivers love. But my guess is they'll probably end up repaving it, and they need to put a tunnel in so they can get the haulers in and out. So it'll be a lot of work. It's not one of those things that they put the shovel in the ground tomorrow and it's done in 6 weeks. I mean, it's going to definitely take some time, but they have that plan in place. And again, if you look at all these renderings that they have come out with, and I know you all have them on Main Street Media, they're fantastic. When they get it done, having that beautiful MLS stadium and a beautiful racetrack next to each other, it's going to be a really cool area.
I mean, even if this rendering's 50% of what we're seeing right now, it's I mean, you add another level there, you get the new bleacher and the corner seats over there. I mean, right now, that's, you know more about NASCAR than I do. That's the best looking track in NASCAR according to this rendering.
Yeah, and Joe, you've been there. You know that, and I say this, and I don't have any problem saying this. Right now, it's a dumpy old racetrack. That's what it is, and everybody knows that. And so if this happens, I mean, it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility, and new lights, and they'll put the soft walls in, or the safer barriers, and it'll be a really cool racing facility, not only for NASCAR, but I think for the local racers that cut their teeth. I mean, there are so many people that go on to NASCAR and big things. Darrell Waltrip is obviously one of the biggest names, but they started here, and they cut their teeth at the fairgrounds, and that part's not going to go away. Everybody I've talked to, they'll protect the local racing. They'll still run the All-American 400 with the late models. I mean, all of that will still happen. They'll just have a much better place to do it at.
You know, and it's funny, the few drivers I've talked to, Chase, you talked to all of them, you know them well, but God, they love this racetrack.
They do. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has obviously played a huge role in this because, again, he grew up here. His dad raced there. I think even his grandfather raced there. And so it's special to him. But, I mean, even drivers today, Kyle Larson, the defending Cup Series champion, has talked about, running the fairgrounds and how important it would be. They respect the history of the sport, and the history of the sport is on short tracks like Nashville. And so they need more short tracks. I think they went through this phase in the 90s where they're like bigger, bigger, bigger. We need all these 1.5 miles. And that's where the Nashville Superspeedway came to be, because everybody saw kind of, okay, well, it's going to the 1.5 miles or 1.3 like the Nashville Superspeedway. And there's nothing wrong with those, but you need more short tracks too. I think there needs to be a balance of, your road courses, your intermediates, your super speedways, your short tracks. And NASCAR's trying to do that now. So the drivers do love it. I mean, you talk to anybody in the garage. Kyle Busch has run there several times in the All-American 400. I talked to him back in July, and he loves both places. He thinks there's a spot for both places. But they look at the history of the fairgrounds and the history of this sport and Nashville and know that it's important to be there.
Why does NASCAR love Nashville? I mean, they moved their award show out of Las Vegas to Nashville. Why? What's the affinity for Nashville for NASCAR?
Because one, you've been in television, they look at the numbers, and if you look at television ratings, even though NASCAR has struggled as a whole over the last few years, it's starting to tick back up. It does well here. I mean, it just historically has done well in Nashville, and with the fairgrounds and the support of the fairgrounds, they see that and know that there is a true fan base here. But they've also made it a point to, even though they want to expand to other markets, their heart and soul and their bread and butter is in the Southeast, and they got away from that for a long time, and it hurt them. It almost hurt them to the point where they weren't going to come back from it. And now they got the right people in place, and they recognize that. And so they look at Nashville as Nashville can be a hub, just like Charlotte or Daytona. You have a race team that's based out of here with Trackhouse and Justin Marks. Justin Marks, when he formed Trackhouse Racing, he said, I'm going to move to Nashville, and I'm going to base my race team out of Nashville. Then he got Pitbull to get involved. They just announced they just announced sponsorship yesterday with Tootsie's. The Tootsie's car is going to run the Daytona 500.
Ooh.
Like, how cool is that with Daniel Suarez? It ran out at the Super Speedway. Now the Tootsie's car is going to be in the Daytona 500. So it's not just NASCAR, it's the teams. I think you'll see some other teams move here because there's just an affinity for it. I mean, the people here love the sport. And even you got a new fan base growing that, checked it out last year, that I think they'll continue to do that.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. Celebrity birthdays. You want to play?
Sure.
All right, celebrity birthdays. Chase McCabe with All Things NASCAR. Before I do that, thank you for doing this, because
no problem.
There's a lot of things out there like what's going to happen? What's going to happen tomorrow, this weekend? Just know there's a lot of patience going in with this, correct?
Yes. Real quick, and I'm glad you brought that part up. So the fair board has to approve it. There are 2 open seats on the fair board that have to be filled before they can do anything. And so that's going to take probably a month or 2 before that happens. Once the fair board does their thing, then it has to go to the sports authority and the council. The Metro Council then has to approve this plan too. There is opposition within the Metro Council, as there would be with anything. But I feel confident that with the way this plan is laid out and the work that Mayor Cooper and his staff have done with it, SMI, I think it'll happen. It's going to get through, but it's a process. It's going to take several more months, but hey, we've been patient this long.
Yes, we have. Way long. All right. Short break. Come back. Celebrity birthdays on the other side. Chase McCabe's going to join us. You're watching Mornings on Main Street. All right, wasting no time this morning. Time for celebrity birthdays with our special guest, Chase McCabe from ESPN 1025 The Game, battling the intern. So, Chase, because you're the guest, you will go first. I will warn you, though, the intern got his butt kicked on Monday, but the last 2 days he's been on fire.
Came back swinging.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right. Our first birthday today is from Charlie's Angels, actress Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu is 44.
I'll go 46.
53.
Wow.
Singer Nelly Furtado.
Nelly Furtado, 46.
I'm going to go 38.
43. God, you guys were close.
Right in the middle.
All right, you got to get this one. Britney Spears.
Free Britney. She's free now. 38.
41.
40. Intern.
She's
Got
40.
closer. Good job. It's all right, Chase. You're still in the ballpark, buddy.
That's all right.
Not bad. Let's see here.
Oops, he did it again.
Actress Kathy Lee Crosby. She was on the TV show That's Incredible. Think when That's Incredible aired in the 70s.
Okay. Yeah,
Deductive
so
reasoning.
82.
79.
77. Oh, it turns up 2-zip. Come on, Chase. I got confidence in you. But you guys, I like you're getting it. You're probably figuring it out. Let's see here. Okay. He was in Scarface. Actor Stephen Bauer. He was Al Pacino's right-hand guy. He was also in Breaking Bad. He's the one they went to Mexico to kill with all the tequila.
74.
I'm going to say 65.
65 exactly.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not good
Chase,
at this.
You got plenty of opportunity left. Bass player Rick Savage of Def Leppard.
We've seen them, Joe. Great band. We have.
And I got drunk and cried at the concert.
You did. I had to hold you. 68.
I'll go 73.
61.
Jeez.
It's okay. We're there. Rapper Treach of Naughty by Nature.
56.
53.
51. Interns is taking names.
Yeah, listen,
Chase,
it's a bounce back.
We got to get you one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Chase. Monica Seles, tennis pro.
28.
Do you know her tennis grunt?
I have no idea.
Or do you, Joe, by the way?
Intern, go.
Let's say
She's the one who got stabbed.
44.
48.
Okay.
All right, so Chase, this is for you only. This is the last one before you get out the door. Singer Charlie Puth.
40.
I thought you heard of him.
No, I don't know. But I have no idea how old he would be.
He's 30.
Okay.
It's all right, though. You'll play next time with us. Intern wins 4-0.
Yeah. Good job, intern.
Chaser, thanks, brother. Have a good show today from 10 to 2. Thank you.
10 to 2. Thanks, man.
All right, see you, Chase McCabe, 1025 The Game. Thanks for everything. Intern, thank you. I'm back in studio tomorrow as I'm hitting the road to support DCA playing the high school football championships. Everybody headed down to Chattanooga. Please be safe. Please be careful. We'll be back here tomorrow. As we do every day, be nice to people, let people in traffic, open doors, smile. Do not tell anybody about your CrossFit workouts. Nobody cares. And I always leave you with this. Nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.